Hello, it's me, Annalisa. This is my spiritual friend. It's Sunday evening, November 8th, 2020. And we are, hello. If you're new here, welcome. You can catch me here every Sunday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. On the description, there's a place to purchase a reading. So I feel vindicated because last May, someone asked me on one of my live streams whether or not Trump would be out. And I heard yes, but not exactly how we want. And I would say a pandemic is not how we want. And need for social justice is not exactly how we want through the deaths of our Black men and women. But we have Joe Biden. And I will have to say this, I did see when I was looking at even though I was totally wrong about the candidates, and I guess I'm just not a political reader, but I did see Kamala Harris rising up huge in 2028, being a huge year for her. So that sort of makes sense that she ended up being our Madam Vice President. Congratulations. I hope everybody feels the relief. I do want to say that I do feel like the energy is going to be strange. There is the other half of the people that are disappointed that for whatever chaotic reason that I'm not quite sure of, like Trump. And I don't know what to say. I mean, it's not like nanny boo-boo, but there might be some chaotic energy. And I feel like sort of once, I think Saturn is supposed to go direct around the 13th or 14th of this week, which is this week. No. Yeah, Friday, Saturday. So hopefully it'll kind of calm down and we'll have everything really solidified out and either he concedes or whatever. So I have a list. Blue Storm is up first, Devry and Meg Daly. Devry had on November 4th where, you wake up the next morning, I was sort of in the thick of everybody's energy and it was really hard for me to kind of like balance out. By the afternoon, I actually felt really, really good and felt totally clear and pretty anxiety free and felt really good. But she had emailed me and I was like, I don't know, I can only tell you what I got last May and I just have to stick with that. So that's sort of where I am usually when anybody asks me like a long-term question and whenever the emotional stuff is too high. Oh, I guess we had a little bit of a troll this evening. Like, subscribe, share me with your friends. People all over the world were watching this moment. They're going to continue to watch us. People all over the world were, really cheering for our democracy to win out in the end. I have clients all over the world and they're watching us. So thank you for all of your prayers, everybody. Okay, Blue Storm says, I would like either the name or some other specifics on funded accelerator programs or pre-seed funds, if any, read approach that would lead to the successful outcome. Okay. Oh, do you have, usually when someone does this, I do better if I'm given, like when someone, I think early on, someone asked me about, Bitcoin, and I don't know anything about Bitcoin, but they gave me like several different things to look at and I kind of could tell you about them and where they felt and where the energy felt. That's usually easier for me to do it that way, to be honest with you. And it turned out when they came back and said, you were right, it happened this way, this way, this way. Because when I have no frame of reference of what it is, it's hard for me to put that into my psychic vocabulary, if that makes any sense. And I don't know why I saw pumpkin. Squash is where I would go with that. I know but when I don't know if that's because I saw the pre-seed, but I saw pumpkin. And the only other word that would come to that is squash. So I don't know if there's a play on those words. And a successful outcome of you getting a job, or can you just be a little more specific what successful outcome? Because that's sort of like when you're building your psychic language, like I'm teaching my mentees right now. It's like a game of 20 questions when you're sort of building this. And so if I don't have a frame of reference in my wheelhouse of what this language is, it's not in my vocabulary. So I sort of have to do like a 20 successful outcome as pre-seed funds for you. Okay. I didn't know if you mean like you're looking for a job. So that's what I'm trying to, because I was a nurse. So when I would go and have an interview and I'm looking for, it's like an hourly thing. Okay, for a startup. Thank you for the clarification. Okay. It's something with, okay, so the way I keep seeing it is, and this might be their part of their logo, it's orange or like a burnt orange color. Like, so think of like I guess pumpkin's not really burnt orange, but I'm thinking of a burnt orange color. And it's not, I keep seeing like, I don't know if it's got like an E to it or something else, but this is like sort of part of the shape I'm seeing to it. And it's like, I don't know what this is down here, but this is like, they're not showing me a full shape, but it's like this shape as part of the lettering or something like that. And it's got like burnt orange color or like an orangish color. And it feels like it's black outline of that shape, but it's like, it's what you would traditionally think of as more rounded, but it's got more hexagonally type, like more. Is there anything you're looking at that has that? And I have to say, it feels male owned, and it feels like it's actually owned by two men. It feels like a two-person thing. It feels like one of the guys talks really fast. Like, I would even say he might be like he's mastered it well, but have like a little bit of ADHD. Like it's just like so like that, like his speech pattern is very fast. Does this make any sense to you? Or does the color and the shape of the logo? Hi, Chanel. And I feel like it's going to be like, it might be the third person you go to or the third group, because I heard 2 or 3. So it feels like there's a several, but it might be like the third group you go to. 2 guys. Okay. Okay. Does one of them talk really fast? Or maybe it's like, there's something about like 2, but the 3, like there's something like where it happens either like maybe you have 2 meetings with them, and on the third one is where they say like, here you go. Like, but one of them talks really fast, and I feel like the other one is really like, he reminds me of my my friend's husband, who's like really, really quiet. And I was always like, I think he hates me. He might hate me. Who knows? He's like, he's really tall. I'm like, he's like a big guy, but he's like very quiet. So it feels like one's a really, 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 really fast talker. Okay. And the other guy like is going to feel like he's not interested. Like he's just really quiet. And I don't know why I keep feeling this feeling of a basketball, like bouncing back and forth, bouncing back and forth. Hang on, Robin, I'll check for you, okay? I'll check, I'll validate. Let me just get through this question. This may be something that with one of the meetings, it might make sense, but it's like they're showing me a balloon as well. So is there a way they would do like kind of like, I don't know why I'm getting like balloon payment, but it's like, I mean, you have balloon, no, are those called balloon loans? Maybe not. I don't know. I heard balloon, like balloon payment. Or is one of them a huge basketball fan? I don't know what it is, but there's something like where there's these other things related in there. You know, a company called Balloon. Okay. So it's going to be probably one of these two things. So the guy with the two guys or the balloon thing, it's going to be one of those two things or something with it, or you may end up getting funds from both. But there's something with one of those two things, okay? And it may be even at the end of this month. Do you know? Because they're showing me, they keep saying November, 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 November. You're welcome. They keep saying November. So I don't know if that even works with you for time frame, but I just keep saying November because I'm like, when? November, 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 really big. All right. Let me see. Hang on, Lisa. I didn't call you yet. You're a little bit further down the list, okay? So I'll probably ask you to rewrite. Thank you, Steph from Canada. I'm not kidding. I think the whole world was like, get him out. And if any of you happen to be on here and you like Trump, I'm very sorry. But, you know, enough people did not like him. Hi, Isha. I got your donations, Allie. Spiritual Seeker, I'll look for yours. Okay, let me look quick. And then so I need Devry McDaily. And I also want to mention Dan McCluskey. He's got a channel called Spiritually OTC. You should check him out. He always makes a donation. He's not asking a question. He just likes to support. So I want to support him back. Go check his channel out. It's pretty cool. He also ended up raffling off a reading from me and another reader out in Colorado. And it was really a really cool reading. I was very grateful to be able to even connect with this person. It was she was just a lovely person. So I do, Devry, I keep feeling it's going to be soon. So you ask this every week and I keep feeling like it's that 2 to 3 week thing. Like it doesn't feel far out. It feels like next week. So for manifestation, because now when you're in this level of going, every job doesn't work out, it doesn't keep working out, it doesn't keep working out. Not that I'm saying it's your fault, but I want to help you. You're welcome. Check out Dan's channel, Spiritually OTC. He's in the comments now. You can click on it, do it later. What's this post? So you don't lose me. Jeffrey, it just feels like, so let's like shift our mindset, right? So our mindset would be, the job finds me easily. It's a perfect fit. You can even do the visualization, typing on here next week. Anna, I got hired. You were right. It worked out. I feel like with this last one, maybe even the way I was getting is that, remember I said to you, I thought like you would get 2 and then maybe even a third. So it might be the third, which should be coming up then, right? Third job that really sticks. But I keep feeling like it's now, it's now, it's now. It doesn't feel far out to me. They're showing me the lobby of this building I used to work in. It was basically like a pediatric long-term care facility. They had some vents on some kids that were like long-term vent kids, and a lot of kids that were just a lot of care that couldn't really be, either family situations couldn't be taken care of at home for whatever reason, or were too medically fragile kind of thing. And they're showing me that lobby. So I don't know if it's some sort of like pediatric medical facility you end up getting a job at, like maybe in security or at the welcoming desk in the lobby. But it just feels like I keep seeing that. That's what I keep seeing, is that lobby specifically. And it doesn't, have you applied to something like that? I'm just checking for payments. Debbie, do you have any feedback? And then Meg Daly, if you're on, I just thought I saw your name. And Emily F., you asked about your training in nursing. Let me know you're here. Okay, so I have Isha after Emily M., Virginia. Oh, wait, sorry. That's Spiritual Seeker. Travona, Chanel, Robin, and Regine. Debbie, did I lose you? Okay, the golden butterfly is Travona. Okay, I'll change it so I answer. That's the right way. I got you for 2, Allie. Somebody else said they just paid for 2. Let me see who that was. Robin. Okay. I got your payment, Lisa. I even emailed you back and said I got your payment. I do that for you guys because I don't want you to be nervous. Even when I was out for dinner with my family, we decided the weather was nice, so we decided to go eat outside at this restaurant. So yeah. Okay. So Meg Daly, Devery, if you can answer that back for me. Meg Daly, Emily F., Starry Sky. Y'all are falling asleep on me. You're welcome. Is everybody sleeping tonight? Like, is it like after the stressful week? Like you can't keep your eyes open now that you can finally relax. I asked my mom. She was so stressed out. What messages do my spirit guides have for me? Okay. So she was so stressed out and I was like, and she's like, I'm not sleeping. And she thought it was because my mom's a gamer. She's 70 and she's like, I don't tell anybody my age though, because I don't want anybody to know. She's like, they're all these 20-year-old kids. And so she's afraid that they'll kick her out. So she thought she was playing too many video games. So she thought she'd try and take a break. But I think it was really just the stress of the election. Okay, so we'll go. All right, so this is for Meg. What does Meg need to know? Has your head been bothering you lately? Meg, have you had a headache lately? I just keep getting sensitive to light kind of feeling. They're showing me this. I don't know what this is. It's like this stuffed towel thing, but they said that you need to kind of get yourself organized and get packing, get everything together and everything lined up because it feels like you're going to get a little bump soon. So it feels like clients coming in, a bump in business, doing much better. And I know what you're doing, but it feels like it's around that, and it's around a lot of people deciding to for the new year as a New Year's resolution and not waiting till the first of the year to start, but kind of starting as a beginning, as a mindset kind of changing. Are you a mindset coach? But it feels like following your program and kind of like wanting to have like a group of like women that get together and decide to stay sober and kind of follow your coaching program. So it feels like I'm going to get a bump, and I feel like I keep feeling like end of November into beginning of December, like sort of like kind of becoming healthier for the new year. They just said you got what you wished for. Meg, did you just have something come in where they said you got what you wished for? So I don't know if it's like everything kind of, maybe that was a manifestation you wanted where you got this bump in business or bump in whatever, but it's like, it just feels like everything's sort of like falling into place for you. The cards are falling just right. Why do I keep seeing do you have a little white dog? Or a light colored dog? Like a blonde dog versus being like, it's not dark red, it's just a light colored dog. Are you hearing me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? What is going on? I'm like, Devery didn't answer. You're not answering. Are you guys hearing me? Can everybody hear me? Okay. Like, so Meg, does that make sense to you? What, like they said, you got what you wished for. They're talking about a little white dog. They showed me a little, okay. Okay. They're talking about a little white dog. Can you validate any of this? You normally don't what? Okay. Also, I'd like to say I'm wearing this little, this is from my grandmother. This was my grandmother's. I got it actually 5 years after she passed away. My cousin ended up giving it to me. He said he felt I needed it. Like my grandmother wanted me to have it. And I'm sort of wearing it in homage to Biden's Catholicism, and because, Mary's awesome, whatever. Okay. So you don't normally what, Meg? So I felt like the feeling that they're showing me is that you're going to get a bump in clients. It feels like right after Thanksgiving. Sober coach. You don't normally sober coach? Well, whatever it is your program is that you did where you were advertising, where you have that, you were doing that. So it's not like sober coach, but whatever, where it's like, you know what I'm talking about. It feels like I'm going to get a bump. I'm going to have a group of women who are going to want to do this and sort of like lead into 2021 as having a healthier life, having a healthier, like sort of outlook and sort of doing things in a healthier way and sort of looking for you for this. It feels like I'm going to get several clients to do this either as a group or have some individuals and have one group that does, or two groups that joins you on this. So it's what you already have in place that yeah. So, but it feels like it's going to be happen like right after Thanksgiving. It's sort of like, rather than it's going to be like a New Year's resolution, but rather than starting after the new year, it's sort of going into the new year. It's this idea of they're leaving behind all the muck of 2020 and wanting to move into 2021 with, moving forward with a really healthy mindset. And then they said you got what you wished for. So I don't know if you were wishing for more clients or wishing for something with your dog, regarding your dog. Black and white setter. Why do I see a white little dog? Did you have a little white dog or a little blonde dog? Now I can see them. I know there's a little bit of a delay, but did you at a point, it's like, I don't know if it would be a Lhasa Apso or a Shih Tzu or something little like that. Live can be a little bit like you can be laggy on your end. Do you have a dog in spirit that fits this? Does the name Max make any sense to you? Devry, where did you go? Am I going to have to email you? You want to adopt another dog. Okay, this might be the other dog that's coming in also for you then, and all around the same time. It's weird. I keep feeling like they keep showing me something about a spa. So it's like this, like, it feels like a spa chair or something where it's like, you know how they have like the towels or like whatever that have like lavender and they're kind of heavy in them, lavender scent or whatever. But it feels like almost like a chair. It's like the way they're showing me is like almost like a chair. But then I can feel it like the weight of it on my eyes at the same time and smelling it. So I don't know if something like a spa day or some kind of little getaway, like a healing thing for you is coming up. The only other thing I could say with these headaches are, have you had your vision checked recently? Because you might need that. Because the way it hit me right in my eyes. Okay, so I'm going to leave you with that. I hope that's clear enough for you. It looks like all good things coming up for you. Emily Fleshman, are you on here? I just wanted to see if Deborah ever responded to that. I'll have to ask her. Oh, you've had headaches lately, which are rare. Okay. Okay. So that's just me tapping into your energy. Just wanted to take a note of that so I make sure I can. Some of you have had readings or are in contact with me. And plus I can email you from your PayPal stuff, but I don't want to jip anybody from the answer to their questions. Emily F, are you here? Are you here? Then we have a Starry Sky. Okay. Thank you. He was a Westie. Yeah, that would fit it. That would fit the look. But the head's not quite as boxy as a Westie. This might be a dog coming into your life. And he might be, like, he keeps making me see like he might have a little bit of a little snaggle tooth on him. And there's something about the name Max I heard. So maybe that's his name. Okay. Kay, I'll check with in just a minute, okay? So Emily, are you here? Are you here, Emily F? As in fantastic. Starry Sky asked, any messages from Spirit? This is interesting. So they said you can breathe easier now, but the work is just done for you. You were meant to be out in the spotlight. Have you been having dizzy spells lately? I actually feel like this is terrible feeling. It feels like being connected to my ears and having, when if like you get those little ear crystals that go loose and you have to like do the positional stuff to kind of get them to go back in, but you have like feel very dizzy when you have them. That's what it feels like to me. Have you been having issues with that lately? I'm almost like when this happens, I get a lot of anxiety from it. Now, to clarify for anybody who's never had this, just the eye. Um, have you had any dizziness? You have dizziness in your eye? Or wait, okay, just write a full sentence. Is your eye making you dizzy? No, seeing with my eye from my operation. Right, but it makes you dizzy? Because this felt very much like vertigo. Like I felt like my whole head was spinning when I closed my eyes. So it's making you dizzy. I actually feel like when they're talking about my ear, that there might actually be this other thing going on. And it's so even if that may be causing some of it, this might be causing like exacerbating it. So, right. I know it's called vertigo, but there's something. So look up ear crystals, dislodged ear crystals, something like that. They'll show you how to position your head. I don't know if you can do it safely with the retinal detachment repair. So make sure you ask your doctor. It's just the way you lay your head and stuff. So that's the caveat there. But I think that might actually be what's causing your dizziness and not your eye. And I'm going to leave you with that because I think that was really important for you to know that because it's like, feels like it's such a simple fix. There's no need to have anxiety around it. It's okay. But but again, the caveat is make sure that it's safe to do with that after that repair. Because I know you do have to be really careful with how you shift your head and do all that stuff. You're welcome. I hope that it fixes it because that would be, first of all, easy fix and feeling a lot better and sort of relieving some of that anxiety around it. And second of all, just because, but I'm not a doctor. So remember that I'm not a doctor. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a therapist or a financial advisor. So, but that's like sort of what they had. It would seem very clear. Emily Fleshman, are you still here? Are you ever here? Have you been here? Maybe I'll just email her that response. Actually, I'll just tell you what it is. So Emily had asked, she's a certain type of nurse, and she wanted to know about training, movement, and growth and where she should go in order to further it, or if there was any advice. And I actually see you, Emily, F, as being and that's F as in fantastic, as being, ended up becoming a nurse practitioner and actually still working in the mental health field with youth, but like specializing in it. So I don't know if that means there's special licensures or boards that you get certified in as a nurse practitioner, but I see you being a nurse practitioner and being in that. You may even be like double certified where you do like a counseling and nurse practitioner type thing. But I see you really focusing on staying where you're at and just expanding your abilities and what you can do and how to treat people rather than just the medication and such. So I will leave you with that, and I will email you that that's at about 34 minutes in. Okay. Angelica, you're up. Lisa, I received a payment from a card. I don't know if that CAIRD. I don't know if you're here. Angelica, my fiance Matt lost his job at the end of the month. He's like, I got this actually right when I read it. I was sitting at dinner with my family. I was like, oh, okay. I feel like he'll get it, and there'll be a second interview as a formality. So your wedding will not have to be canceled. I do feel like it's going to be a little bit smaller than you hoped. And it still feels like, because this COVID stuff is sort of like kind of hanging over it, or it's going to be adjusted slightly. Like, it's not going to be what you had imagined, but it's going to be perfect. And it feels like, because it's maybe a little bit smaller than what you had envisioned, it actually ends up being like mentally more manageable for you. Cricket. Okay. But it does feel like he'll get it. It feels like it's going to be a second interview as a formality. Okay. Isha, I'll check. So that's Angelica. Lisa, you're up. And then, and then Cricket. Cricket can ask her question. His. I'm not familiar with the carrot. I'm sorry. You're welcome, Angelica. Congratulations. Although I think like Miss Manners says that you're really only supposed to congratulate the husband, right? Because he should be the fiance. Cricket, thank you. So Lisa, you're up. Lisa Thurlow, Cricket, and Allie has 2 questions. I'm just checking PayPal. Isha, you did pay for 2. And Kay paid for 2. And I think we're going to close it down. Let me see. Yeah. Maybe leave it open for just a few more minutes. I just don't want to be here forever. Y'all know how it is. Should I move on for my crush, Alex? I don't see you 2 together. Not this, Alex. So I think I said like a while ago was a different one, but oddly I thought you would end up with an Alex, but I don't feel like it's this Alex. It's like I see you talking to him, this current Alex. And it's that puppy love kind of looking up at him, like with this like puppy love. And I just feel like he's completely oblivious and sort of like, honestly, I feel like he's not, he's kind of about himself, like not in a like super over the top narcissistic way, but just like completely about himself. Like, I just feel like he's just not aware enough. I also feel like he's not nice enough for you. It's that feeling of like you deserve someone who would be kinder and like more empathetic. It's like that feeling of not really valuing what he has. Like he doesn't value the things that he has in front of him. He's sort of always got his mind elsewhere. Allie, I still feel like you're kind of young. Are you 23? Is your birthday the 23rd? I don't feel like it's far off for you to meet somebody. Um, you're 31. I forget my age sometimes too. Um, is your birthday the 23rd, or is there significance around the number 23? I don't feel like he's into you the way you're into him. No. Because I literally see like you looking up at a taller guy with puppy eyes, and like, and then I'm thrown into his energy, and it's like, I'm not like, I don't see it. I don't get it. So I'm not like, it makes no sense to me. Does that make sense? Like, it's like, okay. And like doing something else and like being focused on something else. Like, thank you, Spiritual Seeker. Hit the like and subscribe button. My numbers haven't really gotten anywhere since I went to this. I guess because I don't put free and I don't get bombarded, but it's okay because the money is going to a good cause. I get a little, and the Community Food Bank of New Jersey gets a little. So I feel like I'm happy doing it this way. Look, I feel like over the next 6 months, it's sort of like you start to really look at yourself and um, retrain your belief system and figure out, like, kind of look at your self beliefs and figure out where it is, like, your value system is with yourself, and sort of retrain your brain. That really feels like that's happening in the next 6 months. There's something significant about the age of 33 and something significant about the age of 35. So maybe I meet somebody and I get married and I have my first child at 35. They're not being totally specific. Part of that is because your mindset right now is so much like, if I were to tell you it's this guy, his name, he lives on the street, like, you would be focused on that, you would miss the opportunities for growth and learning that you have along the way. And they're sort of like, you have to reframe it and refocus. And like, if we have a crush on somebody who isn't noticing us and isn't like putting the time and effort in, why do we want to waste our time and spend our time on somebody who doesn't see our value, right? Maybe we aren't fully valuing ourselves. So it just feels like, I don't feel like he feels the same way. I don't feel like the feelings are reciprocated. And to be honest with you, if they were, you would be dating. Like, that would be it. They would just be there. I feel like he's oblivious. I feel like it's like, energetically, you're very different. I feel like you are a very kind and giving and caring person. And I feel like he's more selfish. Um, and then we're going to close the list. Okay, KK? After Aaliyah. So that's where I'm going to leave you with that on Allie, is that I don't see it happening, but I do see like major growth in the next 6 months and major healing, like in your third chakra, which is how we relate to ourselves, how the world relates to us, how we relate to the world, and our self-esteem. I feel like that's going to be huge in healing. I actually feel like too, your third eye is going to be opening up a little bit. And that's going to let you see things and people. So it's not necessarily like I'm going to see spirit, but it's like I'm going to see people for who they are. And not only that, I'm going to start to see myself for who I am and really value myself, and hold myself in higher regard than I do. I can be wrong. Listen to me. I'm happy to be wrong. I hope I'm wrong, and I hope he's into you. But I got to be honest, if he's into you, he's going to ask you on a date, right? It's not a waste. I just keep seeing him looking at a phone, like with his face buried in a phone. I'm happy to be wrong. I'm happy for you to come back and be like, Alex wants to marry me. But if he really liked you, he would have asked you out. That's the honest to God's truth. That's not psychic. When a man likes you, you know. There's never a doubt about that. Okay. Lisa, Cricket. Either one of you, please ask your question. Allie, did you have another question other than that? Although I think so Cricket, Lisa, somebody please ask a question so we can keep moving. You're welcome, Allie. So I need Lisa. Lisa, I know you said you were patient, but ask your question. Let me see if I'm just going to answer it. I think you wrote it up here. Okay. I met a new man. I'm business named Mark, who knows really like, what do you feel will happen between us? Nothing. I feel like he's a really nice guy, but this one's for Lisa. I feel like he's a nice guy, but I feel like it's going to fizzle out. I actually feel like this sounds weird, but I think he's going to be more high maintenance than you want to deal with. I feel like he's got a lot of like emotional baggage that he hasn't quite dealt with. Listen, we all have our own stuff, but I just feel like he hasn't dealt with it enough for you to really want to delve further. Like you've sort of been working on your own stuff. So it's like, I don't want to grab onto that either. That's what I get. Cricket, ask your question. Emily M. Isha, you're up. Spiritual seeker. I'm just checking PayPal. Oh, okay. So I've got Lisa Marks. Oh, sorry, under Lily. Sorry, Lily. And she said, so last week Lily asked me about the schools closing, and I was correct. She said, sadly, you were spot on last week about the schools closing. Our district was supposed to go back on Monday for hybrid, and they are not because all the numbers are just too high. And then I don't recall what Shokoya's. Aaliyah is after Lily. And then we're closed for the evening. Okay, Emily, messages from your guide. Cricket, you're here. Why aren't you asking your question? Maybe Cricket left. Cricket, come back. Okay, messages from your guide. Emily, it's really just, it's that feeling like I literally felt like the water rising, like feeling like I was going to go under the water, like the water rising. And they're sort of just saying, you're going to be okay. Your husband's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. But it does feel like for the next couple of weeks, it's going to be tense around your house. I got to be honest. I don't feel like he's going to be home. It just feels like that tension of not knowing. So it feels like, don't know if he's going to be put on like a probationary thing or whatever, or just kind of being like insecure about stuff that's going on. And I don't want to give too much details, but because we did already discuss this, but it feels like just a couple weeks. And then I feel like I'm doing, it's okay. But it feels like for a couple weeks, like maybe right up until Thanksgiving, kind of feeling a little tense. It's also the feeling like you really need a break. Do you have a mom and a sister? Okay. So I don't know if it's getting a visit from them, but it feels like having mom and sister around sort of like kind of helps, like needing to go to them or just whatever it is, but having them around will help, or they'll give you some kind of reprieve or relief. But it feels like um you need a shoulder to lean on, and I feel like you'll get that there. Does your husband have blood sugar issues? Because it's a feeling of like where, I was asking kind of like, is he really tired lately? Is that where some of the poor decision making is coming from? And I actually feel like maybe a little disoriented, like a blood sugar issue. So it could be something simple, like maybe he's not eating frequently enough, or maybe he's like eating too much sugar or whatever. But it feels like even if he's not diabetic or even he's not borderline, maybe just his diet is sort of like causing him to like not, when we don't eat well and we don't sleep enough, um, then you just have the generalized massive amount of stress that we all have. Welcome 2020. Um, Thank you 2020, I should say. It just feels like that's kind of where it is. It's just this like combination, but needing to eat better, not getting quite enough sleep. Hi, King. I've been thinking about you the last couple days. I hope you're doing well. Um, Might be something to keep an eye on. Okay, Emily. He doesn't sleep. Yeah. So it doesn't feel like he's mentally like, so don't think that, oh my God, is he mentally lost? He's not. It's just sort of like a combination of all of this. Spiritual seeker, when will my son Richard physical ailments get better? He's in the throes of his eating disorder. I don't know that it's other doctors. I feel like by February. So I know that's a really, really long time, but it feels like he has to be like he has to be able to see it, right? It's like an alcoholic. If they can't see it and they're in complete denial of it, it's hard to want to heal it. Hi, Race B. Um, Benjamin, if you would like a private reading, you can go to my website, and there should be a link to that for private readings in the description below this. So, Spiritual Seeker, are you still here? So they're highlighting February as being significant. So does it mean that he doesn't get help until February? No, I just feel like I sort of have a handle on it by February. I feel like actually by December is when I'm sort of like, I don't know if they have, if your insurance covers or his insurance covers like an inpatient, but I feel like he'll have to be inpatient. I don't know that it's going to be an outpatient thing for him. You're welcome, Benjamin. Let's plug in my computer. Spiritual Seeker, are you there? Are you there? Are you there? Cricket, I'm torn about taking on a new work project, which is big, complicated, and feels out of my wheelhouse. Wondering if I should take this project or instead take new offer to teach. I actually feel like it's not out of your wheelhouse. I feel like you have the feeling that they're giving me is that you have the ability to do this. It is a lot, but I also feel like you have the resources and the people around you that you need in order to, um, and it feels like just a small bit of something that might be a little more over my head, but I know the people to go to that would really be able to help me with it. It's just sort of like, asking somebody for help on something when you have a big project doesn't mean that you're not capable. Um, some of the best people in the world, who are the most successful people in the world, know how to ask for help. They recognize that I can't do it all, but I can do most of it, and then I need to, like, farm out or ask for help here, here, and here. So it feels like you're completely capable of doing this. Um, and you'll actually, it's that sense of, like, pride of, like, going, oh my God, I got this. That doesn't mean that you're not going to have an oh shit moment in the middle of it. Like, what the F was I thinking? It doesn't mean you're not going to have that. We get those. That's okay. But I do feel like you can totally do this. You can totally take it on. And you would be fine with it. Again, it's just, there's this part of it that I have to kind of ask someone for help on or ask for guidance on. And that's okay. That doesn't mean you're not capable. It's okay to recognize that, that you need to ask for help, and you can ask for help in certain issues. I feel like he might have to be impatient. Okay. Yeah, I feel like he's going to have to be impatient, and it feels like by December that decision will be made. I'm really, really and truly, because that's not, if somebody has an eating disorder, it's not treated if they're saying, I don't feel like eating. Just don't feel like eating. There's still stuff going on, and that's okay. Um, it is a mental health issue, and you can battle it for years. I have a good friend that I grew up with that battled her eating disorders for years and years and years and years. And she might still be, I mean, I don't know, but it seems like, because she's very, very open about her mental health stuff, because she wants to help other people, and she had other addictions and stuff too. So, it can take time, and it can take different avenues and different people. I also feel like, speaking of why they're bringing her up, what did she do? There's like a behavioral, I'm trying to think if it's like cognitive behavioral therapy, something like that, is what she ended up doing that was really, really successful for her. That might be what you look into. I'm gonna, if I can remember the name of it, I can email you through your PayPal. So I'll try and think of what it is that I'm thinking of, but that might be who the specialist is that you need to, like, look up. That would be beneficial to him. So, Cricket, okay, I certainly need help with the big project and would have to put together a big team. I feel like you would really do well, and you would be fine doing it. I think it's your own fear of failure that's stopping you. If they show it to me as like, yep, that, because I don't see quit and go to teach. Like, I don't see that as it's not that it's not an option. You would do well either way. I really do believe that. But it's really like, you can do this, is everything I get, is you are perfectly capable. This is completely in your wheelhouse. You can do this. It's the only thing that's stopping you is your fear of failure. And I said, get out of your head, get out of your own way, get out of your head. I do think so. I feel like spiritual seeker, I feel like with your son, what will happen is by December, he goes to like an inpatient thing. And I feel like by February, it's sort of like, he's on, it's not that it doesn't happen before then, but it feels like I'm on the up and up on that one. I'm on the upswing of that struggle. I do feel like it's something he's going to really kind of deal with for a while. Has he ever been, and I'm diagnosed with like borderline personality disorder or anything like that, or a personality disorder? So, Cricket, again, I do feel like you're going to end up taking the project. They're showing me, you decide whatever you want to do, but they're showing me that you're perfectly capable and that you have all of the knowledge and the ability to do it. They don't show me, like, I don't feel like when I think of teaching, it's like, well, yeah, you could do this, but that's not where I feel you're going. Um, yeah, you have to decide. But if it gives you any, I hope that you'll come back here since I've never seen you before. I hope you rejoin us again and that you'll be like, Anna, oh my God, the project it was like hell, but I did it and it was really successful and I did great. Like I mean, I do think that it's going to test you. I really do. There's no doubt in my mind about that it's going to test you. It's going to be, but you're going to feel very, like a sense of pride and ownership of it. And I also feel like it's going to lead you to bigger things and more of this. And that's money in case for whatever reason you can't tell what that means. Hillary technically did win in 16. I felt like she would win too. She won the popular vote. It's that stupid electoral college, King. And I really feel like, again, I said this a long time ago. I feel like by 2026, that's going to be shifted. So it's either going to be that every single state has it set up to where it's the popular vote that wins and forget about the electoral college, that it's going to be basically pointless, or they're going to actually make an amendment for it. You're welcome, Cricket. So it might be that there's something else going on. Or it may be that some of the treatments that they would use, the type of therapy that they would use for somebody who has borderline personality, would be really helpful to your son. So I'm going to look up, because I know I'll know the exact name of it when I see it. And then it may be meaning like looking for a therapist that specializes in this that would be beneficial to him. Isha, spiritual seeker. Okay, did yours. The Golden Butterfly, Chanel, and Robin. I think she would have been, I think she would have been a good female president, but unfortunately, I feel like energetically, for whatever reason, her energy really triggers a lot of white men. Sorry, not to put any white men down if you're watching this. I feel like she triggers that, and she there's some women that support the whole idea of patriarchy and misogyny because of their religious indoctrination. And I'm not trying to be, but there are a lot of interesting things that sometimes religion makes people believe is the right way because of whatever their interpretation is of their sacred text. And so I think that there's a lot of women who are also threatened then by a strong woman. Kamala, whatever her reason is, her energy is so much lighter. And she is strong and she is smart, but her energy is has a little bit more warmth to it than Hillary's. Okay, so Isha, in terms of studying in med school, what do I see for the next couple of years for you? I'm working my butt off, but I'm scared about not getting in. You're going to get in. You're going to get in. I keep getting I feel like you actually might do med school in the Caribbean. Have you looked into that? I really I keep getting it. I'm like, and it's like a good fit for you. And it doesn't mean, my OB-GYN, her daughter is in med school in the Caribbean right now. And she's like, it's just another way to do that. And she came back here to the States. She's coming back here to the States for the residency. But maybe you're not going to be in Canada for residency. I think you might actually end up in the States for residency. And I think you'll be on the East Coast. And I actually feel like you might be in Georgia. or North Carolina, and I can't think of the name of the big system in either one of those. There's a big one in Georgia and there's a big one in North Carolina. Residency in the States. I could be totally wrong about the med school, but I keep feeling like you're on a tropical island and like loving it. What's interesting is I feel like as much as like people can be really snooty about med schools because I worked in medicine, it's like, oh, whatever. I actually feel like you get like a more real world, like you get some experience that there's like, and knowledge and wisdom that you would never get anywhere else that actually like makes you feel more badass in a way. So I feel like med school in the Caribbean, residency, I feel like will actually be in the United States. I don't feel like you'll be in Canada for that. I feel like you'll be, I can't think of the name of the big place. Like I keep getting pulled towards Georgia and Atlanta, but I also feel like it's either that or North Carolina. I don't know why, because I can't think of what the big one is over there, but it's that area. It's not Maryland. Maybe Baltimore? No, that is Maryland. I'll have to look because I know I can like I just can't think of it's not Duke. So that would be North Carolina. Oh, I can't think of it. It might be in Georgia. I'll look and see exactly what it is that's like ringing into me, but you'll get a position. I actually feel like they're really going to be hurting by the time you're through it, that they're really going to need to be replenishing doctors. So it's not going to be as hard as you think to get the residency. And again, I feel like you'll get the residency in the United States, not in Canada. I'm happy to be wrong. Again, I will always tell you guys, if you argue with me on what I'm getting, I'm super happy to be wrong, but that's what I'm getting. Okay. Golden Butterfly, Chanel, Robin, Regine. You're welcome, Isha. I like that King said, I think Kamala would definitely run in 2028 now. Just watch. Even I don't know that she'll run in 2024. I actually think Biden will be okay through for 8 years. I was like, oh, yeah, maybe not, but I really do feel like he will. What the Golden Butterfly, will Trent reach out soon or should I? We've been on and off for years. You'll be the first to reach out, so sure he's waiting, but I don't know this time. Do you have something with your elbow here? This is my right hand. Right, left, kidding. It's just because I started rubbing that and there's like zero wrong with my elbow. So while I'm waiting for that, I'm going to answer Chanel's. I just want to ask you a question. Chanel, I think he's going to make fun of you a little bit for being OCD. Do you have like some OCD tendencies? And it just feels like needing things to be just so. So whatever this is, I don't know, just pay attention to this if I'm doing this Golden Butterfly. So I feel like he's going to reach out to you. And it feels like by the end of the month, but I also feel like they're kind of like, but do you really want him? Like, this may not be psychic, but the feeling I get is, do you really want somebody who's not fully available? And why are you not making yourself fully available? because you're settling for the back and forth instead of just wanting a full-time relationship in your life. I don't think Ivanka's going to run. I don't think any of the Trumps are going to run. I think that they are going to get brought up on charges. I think stuff is going to come out, and that's the Southern District of New York has them all wrangled in. King, I don't see that happening at all. So I feel like, again, I feel like he's actually going to reach out to you, even though it's usually him. I feel like he will in the next 3 weeks. And I feel like, I don't know if it's like because if somebody passes and he reaches out to you. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but it feels like, it's like somebody connected to him, has nothing to do with you. So don't worry for yourself. But it just feels like, I just don't feel like a love match. I don't feel like, oh, this is going to be the one that gets us back together and we're together forever. It just feels like, this flat energy. Like seltzer that's lost its fizz. Like, I mean, you can drink it, but Chanel, are you here? Can you hear me? So the feeling I get is you're going to be fine. Moving in together, it'll be fine. But I do think he'll kind of make fun of like this, like, like it'll be a friendly type way. It's not going to be like being mean, but like that you have a little bit of the OCD. Yeah, I know I started to answer it, but like there was a little bit of the OCD tendency to like need things to be turned a certain way or set just a certain way. Okay. So needing things to be just right. And then he might kind of make fun of you or mess with you, kind of tease you about it, but I think it'll be fine. Look, every relationship is hard. When you have a romantic relationship and you're married and you move in together, whatever, it's work. It is the hardest thing you'll ever do. Parenting is hard. Being married is really hard because with your kids, like with my kids, I love them no matter what. Like they can be little a-holes and I love them. Like there's not a thing, but like there are times where you kind of hate your husband or you hate your wife. Like you're just like, oh my God. That's like marriage. It's like it's hard. It's not like all love and bliss. There are things that add in and change the dynamic of your relationship and even just moving together. So just understand that there will be things, that there will be struggles there. But the one thing they keep showing me is him kind of teasing you about like needing things perfect, but it's like sweet teasing. It's not mean teasing. Just give me a second. You can ask question two. Okay, Isha, let me just get through some of these. Okay. So it'll be fine, but know that that's that. I don't see like major fights. I just see like, silly banter. Okay. And let's see, golden butterfly. I think I answered that one with you. Is that I feel like he will get back to you, but I just don't feel like it's going to be a thing. Isha, what's your other question? Hang on. I'm sorry you've been sad, King. I'm glad you're doing okay. It's hard. It's hard when we lose people that we feel a connection with. She's around you. She had a lot of dark energy around her, though. She had a lot of depression, a lot of heaviness. I was actually thinking about you, wondering like what you thought about the win with Biden. I think the win is great. I think we still have a ton of work to do. I think that we as a country are going to, it's an uphill battle because we've got brainwasher in charge right now, gaslighter king, who is, brainwashing his followers. I mean, I'm baffled by the fact that anybody thinks that this thing has been rigged, but he's been setting it up for so long. So I think energetically that's going to be interesting. but I think that it will be good for the country overall. Um, like he's going to be charged legally, or I think the SDNY is really who's going to be um, his attorneys and all of this stuff with other states is basically frivolous from everything I've heard. Um, uh, they're not going to go anywhere. So just like the GOP's court battles to try and get, like what in Texas, there was the the drive-through votes. They were trying to get those thrown out, and the judges were like, these are baseless claims. So I feel like that's all that's going to happen. It's just going to be all baseless garbage, and it's going to get thrown out. I think what's going to happen is the minute transition goes over, the transition goes through, that SDNY is going to come calling on him. So I think that's why he's so freaked out. I think that's what he's setting up. Robin, Regine, Kay, you guys are up. Isha, if you want to ask your second question. Come and hang out here, King. This is a positive energy place. Sunday nights, you don't have to ask a question. You can just come join. Okay, how does Sarah feel towards me? I feel completely embarrassed that she's been seeing me have panic attacks at work. She feels bad for you. I feel like she feels empathy for you. She doesn't feel like, oh my God, what's wrong with her? I feel like she has empathy for you. I feel like she has somebody close to her that has them, so she sort of understands it. I feel like you have nothing to feel worried about. Okay. Isha, question 2, why does Akshay keep posting about me when there's nothing between us anymore? Even when things are done, people end up having obsessive thoughts and obsessive behaviors, and it just feels like a compulsive, obsessive thing of unable to break bad habits. I feel like Akshay is a narcissist, and narcissists do that. That's what they do. So if things don't work out, then they will still try to pummel you with negativity and talk bad about you and get people to turn against you. So it's really just about like walking away, stop looking at their social media, block them, and don't worry about it, and just go on with your day, because I don't see him stopping. Wait, Allie, what are you confused about? I can tell you I'm really confused about light workers that say they're light workers and say Trump's here to help. I mean, all of that QAnon stuff is all garbage. And I will tell you from how do I know, like my intuition, like, well, how do I know? Like, how do you, because what if, right? First of all, if you look at a lot of the QAnon stuff, some of these people that have been saying that, like, this is stuff that this guy, David, can't think of his last name, he's been saying since like the late 80s. It's all garbage, right? Also, I guarantee you there's no underground tunnels in the middle of Central Park where they're rescuing children from. And if someone's going to launder money, they're not going to do it through like a furniture company where they're supposed to actually have inventory. They're going to do it in places where they can, all my flowers went bad. I have a flower shop. All my flowers went bad. Why do you think they say restaurants or mafia fronts? Because, oh God, we ordered all this food and it all went bad. Dump all this money into it to filter through it. Golf courses. Who loses money on a casino? Right? So just an idea. All like when they're saying like people aren't able to watch, they've had poll watchers, or not poll watchers. They've had people from the Democratic Party and representatives from the Republican Party who are in every single setting watching over the votes. That's the way it always is. It's just insane. And people have been voting by mail forever. And he's got what is his name, DeJoy in the United States Postal Service, who's had zero experience before there. He just hired him, put him in there, who in the summer started dismantling the sorting machines to slow everything down. This has been a plan for his for a long time. I think he saw that the shit was going to hit the fan and he wasn't going to have a job again. Robin, post your question. You can just post the 2 questions. Oh, there you go. I got him. Okay, I got him. Okay, so Robin. Oh, I didn't see your first question. Where's your first question, Robin? I just have question 2, so you have to show me. Hang on. I'm going to do question 2. I'm struggling with my health. We spoke last Sunday about it. Will I ever be able to work for myself as an artist or maybe work for my wife's residential home building business? I feel like you'll work for her home building business. That's what I got very clearly, like right away. It was like home building business. That's what I'm going to be doing. And I feel like you'll do your own art, but I feel like it'll be kind of like on the side where I do like something small. Either I have like go like you and they have like I don't know, in the summertime they have them here a lot, depending on where you're at with the weather, but it's like they'll have like artist fairs. And it feels like I'll do something like that and kind of get my name out and do more commission type stuff. But I feel like you'll be able to work for your wife, and it'll sort of be is it your health problems with your stomach? Because I just feel like my stomach is like, ugh. Thank you, KK. Robin, do you resonate with the stomach stuff? The reason why I feel like the art stuff is going to be the way it is because you're going to still want to keep it where you have joy in it instead of so it feels like wanting to keep it sort of sacred in a way. You have stomach issues because I felt like my stomach was like, ooh. It reminded me of the way it would feel if I had ascites or something where you just have like fluid in your belly. Oh, okay, that's right. Don't take it personally if I don't always remember. There's only bits and pieces of things that I do often remember doing this. It's just because I'm sort of in a different mindset. So many of us are here as light workers. Light workers means that it doesn't mean like I have this spiritual mission. It just means that you shed light on the darkness. So it may happen in bigger ways like I'm doing, right? Like doing this kind of more spiritually minded work. Or it may be just that like you call bullshit when you see bullshit, right? I believe a lot of people are empaths. I believe more people than they realize are empaths. And I think that that's why there are a lot of physical ailments out there, a lot of the depression and anxiety and all that things is because people don't really realize that they're picking up on a lot of the stuff around them. I feel like the next time that you go in, they might switch one of your meds up that will help that. Like they're like going to maybe try more of an old school way of approaching it than the new version or something like that. That will help that. So I don't know what that means, but it's like sometimes a doctor will use like an off-label use of something, an older medication that will help you versus whatever this newer one is. Um, okay. So Regine, Kay, Lily, and Aaliyah. Also, I did a drawing. If you are subscribed on my website to my email list, every month I do a drawing, a random drawing for a free 30-minute reading. So the first month, Emily on here got a reading. And then I think it was Fabiana got a reading just last week. And it was like sort of divine, perfect timing. I just basically do a random number generator on Google for the number of people that I have on my list. And then I go on my list and I pick the person that has that number. You are eligible for, like, so if you got a reading this month, then you would not be eligible for another reading for a full calendar year. So it's a rolling calendar year. So it's not, so you aren't eligible again until November, et cetera, et cetera. So, and I draw at the end of the month. So if you want to get on board, all I do is, you'll get annoyed with me. I send a weekly reminder and just kind of any little energetic updates of things that are going on and ways to help yourself and whatever, just quick little message. And then that's it. You're welcome, King. Because what will everyone be? Robots? I think, like I said, I think more often than not, people are empathic than they realize it. And I think more people than we really think of. I think it's part of our sixth sense, right? But a lot of people aren't in tune to it. I can guarantee you my husband has no clue. And we joke. He says it too. He's like, he's the least observant person. He misses things all the time. He's completely oblivious. Okay, so Regine, hang on. I saw your question. Let me find it again. Oh, here it is. Things are going well for me. I've been thinking about going to school for a degree. What field do you see me getting into? I keep seeing the medical field, and I feel like that for a long time. I feel like, but it's interesting. I don't feel like it in the sense of, so it might be more like healthcare administration or something like that, because I see you being more in an administrative position versus being bedside, but it feels like medical. Good night, King. Have a wonderful week. Visit us next week. Find positive energy somewhere. Stay away from politics. You're welcome, Robin. I hope it was helpful. Thank you for joining me again. You're in medical administration now. It might be that you go and you get a master's degree in healthcare administration, and so that it like leaves you room for growth. You want to open your own business. That's just what they showed me. I don't see you as being an entrepreneur. It doesn't mean that you can't, and it doesn't mean that I'm not totally wrong about it. But here's the other part of it is if you sort of like, sometimes I think what I'm doing is not necessarily that I'm doing anything magical or like somehow. It's that I'm reaching into the timeline you're on right now, right? And where you're at right now. And if you stay where you're at, what is the energy? So it's like, it feels like to me, I get higher up. I do more. I make more money doing that. I don't feel like I'm splitting off and just leaving it all and going and doing this thing on the side. I still feel if I decided to do something on the side, it would still be like a foundation or something, because I just feel like your heart and your soul is really about giving and caring for people. Because I'm like asking, like, would I become a baker? Would I become like something crafty, or would I produce a product for somebody? And it doesn't feel right. It feels like I find joy and love there. But if I did that full time, it would no longer feel that way to me. It would feel like pushing through the grit. And you're really good at what you do in administration. And I feel like you're very respected. So I actually feel like it might end up being that so maybe you end up going or getting like a business administration degree or something like where then you become like a CFO or of a hospital where you're doing something higher up. Kay, did you do your 2 questions? No, I can't remember. Lily and Aaliyah. You're welcome, Regine. I just really feel like it's like you don't do something on your own, you end up catapulting yourself. Oh, how will I do as a fire pilot? We already talked about this. And I thought that you would do amazing, right? Okay, do your second question. Oh, there you are. I will be a firefighter. Yeah, no, I think we talked about this last week or 2 weeks ago where you said that and I was like, "Oh my god, that's so that is amazing." And I actually feel like and I said that I thought that there might be 1 or 2 guys that kind of give you a hard time, but that like you'll end up being extremely respected. A helicopter pilot, right? So I feel like um sometimes. So sometimes I can see stuff where it's like it's set in stone, but some of it is like if it's where it's like an extracurricular in college, right? You get to choose what you want to do. Some of it is that you're just shifting timelines to move over to it. But yeah, I do feel like it's like timeline. So some stuff is absolutely set in stone and some is a little bit more malleable. And it feels like with that, like if she wanted to, but I don't think she will. I feel like Regine will do. It's just that feeling of I'm gonna go up this way. It really, Regine, I don't know if you're still here. It really feels like you're gonna move up and like be higher ups, like one of the top people in a hospital. Like that's what it feels like to me. And being like, this has never been done before. I think that you're a woman of color for some reason. I guess that's what I keep seeing, like this tall, slender Black woman with like very just perfect suit, perfect everything, just like perfect and just commanding respect. And it sort of like becomes a like you're breaking boundaries and you're breaking glass ceilings and you're doing things that haven't been done before and doing it well and very respected. Okay. What does a bit different in character mean? I guess I didn't see it as being like, look, I see it as getting pushed back because you're a woman. Honestly, that's what I see by like 1 or 2 of them. But I see that ultimately there will be respect there. Does it mean that there's not like ribbing and joking around? I think that that's sort of part of the energy of being in that, like, and not like in a mean way, but like having a lot of camaraderie kind of thing like that, and like really having each other's backs. I think that you will do well. There's nothing that I see that you need to be leery of. I think you do need to be aware that there is misogyny. Hello, we're women. That's like part of our, unfortunately, what the shit you have to deal with when you work in a male dominated field. So I do see that a little bit, but I think overall you'll be fine. I don't think that there's anything that you need to be concerned with. They're not giving me any big red flags. Like, I feel like you'll be really successful and very well respected, that you'll prove yourself, right? But I also think going into that field, they sort of make everybody prove themselves. Because at the end of the day, lives are at stake, and they want to know that who's with us has really got our back, that we don't, when we're out there, we're taken care of and we'll take care of you, kind of thing. And I don't know what to tell you about somebody else's reading, because remember, when we're readers, I don't want to go, no, because that's through their own interpretation of whatever the information is coming through them, and that they're their own filter and their experiences are a different filter and their language is different, right? So there's somebody that I recommend for energy healing, and he and I, what I think are probably saying a lot of the same things, but in different terminology, and we have our different approaches towards it, and we see things differently. So our filters are different, right? I still don't feel like it's an issue. So it feels like being high strung and being like precise actually is an asset for you in that. And again, I think the only issue you're going to run into is a little bit of misogyny from like one or two dudes, but you're fine. Like you end up proving yourself that even so you might get given a hard time a little bit for being precise and being high strung or very type A, but it's going to be an asset for you in the long run. Okay. You'll be able to handle it. Cause I feel like also you're going to be around people. You're going to feel safe in that. You're also going to, have like adrenaline kick in, and you're going to kind of move into like almost like a robot mode. I know for me, when there would be codes, you sort of just like go, and you're trained so much for stuff, right? So you're in nursing, you're trained for codes all the time. Like you go, like just like fire drills, you get trained for codes and what you're supposed to do and what your role is and how you're supposed to, what your function is, how everything is supposed to run, who's supposed to be where, and all of that. So you just go into like robot mode and you just do. And you're like, who's got this? Who's got that? I've got this. I've got that. Like, just everybody has a role and everybody does their thing. And then when it's all done is sort of when you're like, holy shit. And just the adrenaline kind of leaves your body. And I feel like that's what it'll be for you. Is like, you'll work in robot mode. You'll have been trained and trained and trained and trained and trained that it becomes just second nature for everything you need to do and everywhere you need to be, that it's not going to be an issue for you. I do feel like clean up your diet majorly, because I do feel like eating very clean will help you with your anxiety. In a way, yeah, you'll be fine. I feel like you're not necessarily high strung. I feel like you're very type A. And so everybody around you is like, oh my God. You're not a control freak or whatever. It needs to be this way. And I feel like you will follow everything to a T and know that things need to be a certain way, that you'll be fine. Lily, Aaliyah, are you still here? I do feel like you'll be financially stable. I feel like it'll be tight at first. And it just feels like for the first few months, and then things start to roll in and it's fine. I actually think some clients are going to move with him, even if there are maybe like there's going to be some kind of loophole where they move to him without it being an issue with if there's a no compete contract that he has with his current. You're welcome, Kay. Aaliyah, go ahead and type your question. Did you have another question, Kay? Or did I answer it? So then when you get a chance, you're going to come on here, Kay, when you're in flight school or in your helicopter school or whatever, and you're going to be like, oh my God. And you're going to tell us how great you're doing and just give us a check-in. Okay. Yeah. I think in the long run, it'll be really good for you guys, Lily. Good for him too. I mean, like good for you guys as a whole, good for him. Aaliyah, hey, is there any message from spirit, any love relationship coming for me, children? Kay, did you have a second question? So I feel like love coming in, and it feels like kind of a little further out, 2 to 3 years. And they said children will be coming in, but not in the conventional sense. So I don't know if it means that he comes in with children and you sort of like kind of take that on and or if you end up fostering someone. but it feels unconventional. It doesn't feel unconventional in the sense that IVF or IUI or something like that. It feels like I didn't actually have to carry or birth these children. It doesn't feel like surrogacy either. Hi, Nicole. Are things going better for you? Elliot, does this make any sense to you when I say, I mean, maybe it wouldn't, I don't know. It may like taking care of your sister's kids. It just feels like somehow it come into an unconventional way of being a parent. Good. I'm glad, Nicole. It's funny because Aaliyah, I feel like I'm too busy almost right now for a relationship. Like I'm too busy focused on my career. And I see you in like a very, are you going to law school? Are you a lawyer? Because it just feels like I feel somebody who's like highly focused. Like I see like wearing nice clothes and just being very career focused right now. So like I don't see you wearing scrubs when I say no, wearing nice clothes. What do you mean you guess? You're into law. Okay. Are you a legal aid? Are you a lawyer? I don't understand what that means when you're into law. Yeah. It just feels like I'm sort of really focusing on my career right now. So it's not, obviously everybody wants love to come in along, but I feel like I'm not really even putting myself out there to really have a relationship because I'm really focused on the financial stuff. You majored in criminal justice. Okay. Because I was going to say, I don't know, whatever. I feel like you might end up going back to school for either for a law degree, go to law school, or something else, or to further your education. Kay, did you ask a second question? So it just feels like that's why I feel like it's not that like the possibility is not there to fall in love and everything. I just feel like I'm actually not really putting myself out there for a little while because I'm sort of focusing on this. And I feel like you might meet somebody through work or, through building your, like either somebody you work with or somehow you meet through work connections. Thank you, Cricket, for joining. And I know these are kind of far out predictions. I have sometimes a habit of doing that where I'm like, it's not going to be a while. I'm really sorry, but stick with me. Maybe there'll be something that comes up that you can let us know about sooner. Kay, do you have another question or did you bounce out of here? You met someone through work. I'm happy to be wrong that it's like this person is the one. I don't feel like you're with somebody right now. And I feel like whatever it is, it's not this person that you've met that you'll end up with. No, I'm asking. I'm like, is it this one? I'm not sure that this is the person that you're going to end up with long term. So it doesn't mean that you won't ever go on a date or you won't ever have some kind of a connection. It just feels like I'm really more focused on building my career and sort of getting my feet under me. Because I also feel like you're extremely independent and it's sort of this idea of like, I don't need a man to take care of me. So I want to make sure like I'm all set up and taking care of myself before I move into that. So I'm going to leave you with that. Kay, if you're still here, did you have a second question or did I ask it? If not, KK, thank you so much. I am extremely appreciative of you. I hope everybody has a wonderful week. Maybe we can do, I know I keep kind of saying like, maybe we can do, I'm like still trying to get a hold of my kids' homeschooling or online schooling. It's just funny because I thought, I didn't realize with my fourth grader, she'd really need as much help as she needs. She was a little bit more independent last year, but she really does need a lot. She's really overwhelmed by a lot of it. So, and then with my 3-year-old, so I'm basically like massive mom duty during the day, where last year I could kind of like come down at least the first half of the year and like do a thing during the day while my toddler was sleeping. And it's sort of just not all happening that way. So I'd like to do something where I kind of come on and we do like either a spiritual talk or whatever. I'll just have to dig out the time. Enough rambling. If you want a private reading, please contact me at my website. The link is below. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram. I'm here and there and everywhere. Come join me again next week. I really appreciate your time and your support. And I will have an update in the next letter about how much money we've been able to donate to the Community Food Bank of New Jersey so far since we started this in September. Y'all have a great week. I will see you all next Sunday.